This is a joint statement by members of parliament on the call for a royal commission inquiry into Tan Sri Azam Baki and the corporate mafia allegations. Yesterday, activists representing 51 NGOs gathered at the parliament gates and met several members of parliament. I was there. A few other members of parliament were there. They presented a memorandum calling, among other things, for the establishment of a Royal Commission of Inquiry, RCI, to investigate and report on matters relating to the shareholdings of Tan Sri Azam Baki and the so-called corporate mafia allegations. We, the undersigned members of parliament, wish to put forward the following 3 points. The members of parliament that have signed this document are myself, member of parliament for Subang, Tuan Hassan Karim on my right, which is the member of parliament for Pasir Gudang. On my left, Tuan YB Kesavan, member of parliament for Sungai Siput. Not here with us but signed the document is YB Rozia Ismail, member of parliament for Ampang, and also YB Lee Chen Chong, member of parliament for Petaling Jaya. All 5 of us are members of PKR, as you know. Now, this is what we're calling for. Number 1, public disclosure of prior investigations. We call for all investigations conducted by the Madani government into Tan Sri Azam Baki shareholdings to be publicly disclosed. We understand that 2 such investigations have taken place to date, yet none of these findings have been made public. This report should be released to the public or, at minimum, submitted to a parliamentary committee for further review and scrutiny. We further note that on the 6th of June 2026, last month, Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department Director Dato' M. Kumar was reported by a few newspapers. A few newspapers reported him as saying that the 2 investigation papers involving Tan Sri Azam Baki had been forwarded to the Attorney General Chambers for further action. Therefore, we accordingly call for the agency to also disclose the current status of these investigations. The point number 2 is a public position of all MPs on the RCI. We urge all members of parliament, there are now 220 members of parliament, 2 have resigned, including cabinet ministers and prime minister, to publicly state whether they support an RCI into the allegations against Tan Sri Azam Baki and the corporate mafia matter. We, the undersigned MPs, fully support the establishment of such an RCI. That's 5 out of 220 now. We encourage all 51 NGOs to press all MPs for a clear public position on this issue, particularly ahead of the upcoming Johor and Negeri Sembilan state elections. It is a timely opportunity to test MPs' commitment to integrity and accountability. To that end, we suggest the 51 NGOs immediately start a name and shame campaign, giving 7 days to all MPs to respond in support or against the RCI. So basically, we are going back. We received their memo yesterday. Now we give back suggestions for them. So maybe the next step all the media members can do is to ask whether these 51 NGOs are willing to do a name and shame campaign. We note that an RCI can be instituted on the advice of the Prime Minister, and that if more than 51% of MPs support the RCI, the Prime Minister will be obligated to recommend an RCI to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. We appreciate and wish to also highlight the Yang di-Pertuan Agong's zero tolerance stance against corruption. This is very commendable of His Majesty. Number 3, we urged 51 NGOs to support our position regarding the Attorney General and Public Prosecutor constitutional amendments, with particular emphasis on strengthening Parliament's role in scrutinizing nominees for the office of the Public Prosecutor. On 25th June, the 3 of us, and plus a few more MPs, actually met the Deputy Prime Minister, Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof, in his capacity as Chief Government Whip, and the Minister of Prime Minister Department, Law and Institutional Reform, YB Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said, and 2 other senior AGC officials. We proposed to them our amendments. We are now waiting for the response on those draft amendments. What we want to do is we want to ask the same 51 NGOs who are saying they want to fight issue regarding corruption, corporate mafia, to also support us, because this is a good time, an opportune moment for the NGOs to back this institutional reform so that effective parliamentary scrutiny becomes the norm for senior appointments, including in the future for the Chief Commissioner of the MACC. Yeah, that's the statement. It's signed by the 5 of us, myself, Subang, Pasir Gudang, Sungai Siput, Ampang, and also Petaling Jaya. Now I pass on the mic to YB Hassan Karim.
Saudara-saudari, kawan-kawan dari media, kenyataan media bersama berhubung seruan untuk Suruhanjaya Diraja bagi menyiasat Tan Sri Azam Baki dan dakwaan mafia korporat bertarikh hari ini Rabu 1 Julai 2026. Semalam, para aktivis yang mewakili 51 buah NGO berhimpun di pintu pagar Parlimen dan telah bertemu dengan beberapa ahli parlimen. Mereka telah menyerahkan satu memorandum yang antara lain menyeru penubuhan Suruhanjaya Diraja bagi siasatan RCI untuk menyiasat dan melaporkan perkara-perkara berkaitan pegangan saham Tan Sri Azam Baki serta dakwaan yang dikenal sebagai mafia korporat. Ahli-ahli parlimen yang bertandatangan di bawah ini mengemukakan 3 perkara berikut. Pertama, kami menyeru agar semua siasatan yang dijalankan oleh kerajaan Madani terhadap pegangan saham Tan Sri Azam Baki didedahkan kepada umum. Kami memahami bahawa 2 siasatan sedemikian telah dijalankan setakat ini. Namun tiada satu pun dapatannya didedahkan kepada orang ramai. Laporan-laporan ini wajar dikeluarkan kepada umum atau sekurang-kurangnya dikemukakan kepada satu jawatankuasa Parlimen untuk kajian dan penelitian lanjut. Kami juga ingin menegaskan bahawa pada 6 hari bulan Jun 2026, Pengarah Jabatan Siasatan Jenayah Bukit Aman, Datuk M. Kumar dilaporkan menyatakan bahawa 2 kertas siasatan yang melibatkan Tan Sri Azam Baki telah dikemukakan kepada Jabatan Peguam Negara untuk tindakan lanjut. Sehubungan itu kami menyeru Jabatan Peguam Negara untuk mendedahkan status semasa siasatan tersebut. Kedua, kami mendesak semua ahli parlimen termasuk para menteri kabinet dan Perdana Menteri untuk menyatakan secara terbuka sama ada mereka menyokong penubuhan RCI bagi menyiasat dakwaan terhadap Tan Sri Azam Baki dan isu mafia korporat. Ahli-ahli parlimen yang bertandatangan di bawah menyokong sepenuhnya penubuhan RCI tersebut. Kami menggesa 51 buah NGO berkenaan untuk mendesak semua ahli parlimen memberikan pendirian terbuka yang jelas mengenai isu ini, terutamanya menjelang pilihan raya Negeri Johor dan Negeri Sembilan yang akan datang. Ini merupakan satu peluang yang amat sesuai untuk menguji komitmen ahli-ahli parlimen terhadap integriti dan accountability. Bagi tujuan ini, kami mencadangkan agar 51 buah NGO tersebut segera memulakan kempen Name and Shame dengan memberikan tempoh 7 hari kepada semua ahli parlimen untuk memberikan respon sama ada menyokong atau menentang tersebut. Kami menegaskan bahawa RCI boleh ditubuhkan atas nasihat Perdana Menteri dan sekiranya lebih daripada 51% ahli parlimen menyokong penubuhan RCI tersebut, Perdana Menteri akan terikat untuk mengesyorkan penubuhan RCI itu kepada Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Kami menghargai dan ingin menekankan pendirian tegas Yang di-Pertuan Agong yang tidak berkompromi dengan gejala rasuah. Ketiga, kami menggesa 51 buah NGO berkenaan untuk menyokong pendirian kami berhubung pindaan perlembagaan mengenai peguam negara dan pendakwa raya dengan penekanan khusus terhadap pengukuhan peranan parlimen dalam meneliti calon-calon bagi jawatan pendakwa raya. Pada 25 hari bulan Jun, Kami telah mengadakan perbincangan secara langsung mengenai perkara ini bersama Timbalan Perdana Menteri Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof dalam kapasiti beliau sebagai Ketua WIP Kerajaan. Menteri di Jabatan Perdana Menteri, Undang-Undang dan Reformasi Institusi Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Azalina binti Osman Said serta 2 orang pegawai kanan JPN, Jabatan Peguam Negara. Kami kini menantikan respon mereka terhadap draft pindaan yang kami kemukakan. Kami percaya ini adalah saat yang sesuai bagi NGO berkenaan untuk menyokong reformasi institusi ini supaya penelitian parlimen yang berkesan dapat dijadikan amalan biasa bagi pelantikan jawatan kanan termasuk jawatan ketua pesuruhjaya SPRM yang menandatangani YB Subang, YB Pasir Gudang, YB Sungai Siput, seterusnya YB Parlimen Ampang dan YB Parlimen Petaling Jaya. Sekian, terima kasih.
Okay, baik. Kesan juga anything to that? No? Ada soalan tak? Ya.
What would you say about the government stance regarding making publicizing the investigation? You say that there has been a lack of reaction.
Well, since Tan Sri Azam Baki has not been renewed and is gone into retirement as the chief of MECC, the government has been very quiet. Prior to that, some of our colleagues from DAP made some very good statements that, you know, we want to see progress on the investigation. But since then, the cabinet has been very quiet, I must say. And to us, and I think the activists in particular are right, the young activists out there, they, you know, someone retiring doesn't mean that whatever that was done previously is enough. We must get to the bottom of it because corporate mafia, you know, damages the reputation of the country as a whole, right? And it's not a small matter because Bloomberg covered this. This is like a big problem. So not answering or not moving forward or not investigating or revealing the investigation done is not good governance on the part of the current Madani government. Okay? Any more questions? No? Look, I really want to stress this point. The government is here on the basis of having majority support. So I really hope all my colleagues out there, and I know privately they tell me they want to see this corporate mafia matter resolved or be investigated fully. It's really, the time has come where members of parliament have to stand up and make their stand clear. If you're a member of the cabinet, right, and you say you fight for justice, always put your name down on this. And I think that's not for us to pursue in the sense that we are members of parliament. They are our colleagues, our brothers and sisters. But to remind them, you know, Hassan Karim is very forward in his views, to remind them they have a duty to this nation. Then for the NGOs out there, they need to organize themselves to pursue a better campaign. Because people deserve to know what is the integrity level of every single member of parliament in parliament today. Yeah? So I hope that you all can carry that message across. And I'm sure we will wait for a very positive reply from the 51 NGOs and that, you know, we wish them luck in starting this campaign. For us as members of parliament, we can only advise them privately. Yeah? Hassan will talk to his neighbor, I will talk, Kesavan, of course, will talk to his friends. And we see how many of us can openly support this. Because this is, I think, the biggest credibility issue facing Malaysia today. Thank you.